delighted to have you all here because this is a kind of a car guide thing. Actually, our target audience is high school seniors and kids who want to learn well, we want them to learn about competition and how competition makes things go better, which is why the cars are chronologically ordered so that you can see, because of the necessity to win, because of the desire to go faster, the cars had to evolve. So this is an evolutionary exhibit with the message that the spirit of competition, as you saw out there in the hallway, the spirit of competition is what stimulated all these cars to develop. Most of the cars that we picked are winners, large displacement cars in endurance racing. And wherever possible, as you'll see, if we had an original car, we kept it that way. We're not into 100-point restorations unless we get a car that's all apart and finished. But anyway, for car guys, it's a lot more fun because we can talk more about the car specifically rather than this inspirational theme. The cars are set up in dioramas, which you see above, because we know we're starting off with the premise that we're all here to compete. We're so hardwired that we don't realize we're competing every day. We want to get grades that are good. We want our kids to be better than we are. Guys are either shooting pool, pitching pennies, playing tennis. When they can't play tennis, they play golf. When they can't play golf, they get a six-pack and watch football all weekend. But we're all competing, and obviously, I don't think the world was made whether you're religious or not, so that every generation will be the same. Usually, the guys are competing and fighting each other, and the women are picking the winners, and that's how we get the better genes. And that seems to be the standard of life. Well, you can translate that message to somebody who may not understand it, particularly a high school person, by saying, why do these cars revolve rapidly? And as you will see as we get along, dramatic evolution in just a few years, because they had to be faster, they had to be more efficient, they had to be safer, they had to be more powerful, and this leads to rapid evolution. So using this as a model, how do we compete? And this is how we started. Before racing was popular in America, it was popular in Europe first. They had racing before the turn of the century. We didn't really start till the last part of the first decade. But endurance racing was very popular. Why? Because when your car costs as much as your house, you wanted to make sure it was endurable. And they had tours like the Glidden Tour, for instance, and the idea was to go a long distance, and whoever got there first had the best car, and then they had bragging rights and could sell cars. This is a remarkable car. Merck and Underslung was made in Indianapolis. And many people believe it's the first sports car. Looking at their sales literature, they were the first that I could find anyway that said the car is for speed and sport, not just for transportation. This is also remarkable because of many things. First of all, very rare to see a race car this era that looks this good. It's got a very low profile, emphasized by the fact that the bonnet is in the same line with the front fenders. All the other cars of this era, you'll see, is the bonnet with the engine in is much higher. To do that, they slung the frame under the axles, which is why the official name of this car by the factory was American Underslung. So you can see the axles go under the frame, and then they hang from the springs. Well, in order to get that neat look, and underslung look and low center of gravity, you lost a lot of ground clearance, so they had to put 40-inch wheels on this. So you lower the car in the center, and then you raise it by putting on these gigantic 40-inch wheels. Now, those wheels don't look that big on the car, but later on you're going to see a GT40 or two, and the GT40s were 40 inches high. That's how they got their name. So that wheel basically is high as the whole car, as we're going to see later on. This is a car worth coming back to look at because the profile is beautiful and it's dramatically different.